Hello everyone, welcome to another trap video. Today I'll be going over the dragon trap, which by the way is just my name for this trap. I didn't find an official name for this, and I decided to call it the dragon trap because this stems from the Sicilian defense dragon variation. And so if you guys have another fitting name or you know the official name, then leave it in the comments below. And other than that, let's just get right into it. So like I said, this stems from the Sicilian defense, accelerated dragon defense, which luckily is a number one pick for most people, or for many people at least, against e4. So this trap, usually you can use it, or at least it's fairly common. And so this is all just the normal variation. And here, usually black decides against capturing and plays this move here in the accelerated dragon, ready to fianchetto the bishop. And against this, you're simply going to go ahead and bring out your other knight. And when black goes ahead and fianchettos the bishop, you move your bishop here, preventing the knight to being captured. And then black's going to play this move, preparing to castle. And you're going to go ahead and bring out your bishop. And now, after black castles, you go ahead and move your bishop down to here. And this is a move that Bobby Fischer liked to use a lot, putting pressure on this f7 spot, and also just having a nice bishop on b3. And now, the trap kind of starts if black plays this move to a5 with the knight. And it might look very good because most people prefer a bishop for a knight, so if these two pieces could get traded, it would be very good for black. And that is the case. However, although it looks like this bishop is trapped, obviously all of these spots are taken by one piece or another. It looks like this bishop is trapped, but that's not entirely true, because you go ahead and play this move here, putting pressure on this knight. And now there's two options for black. Either fall into the trap, and lose their queen, or do the best move. The best move is capturing the bishop. And against this, you're simply going to capture the knight, and after black captures the rook, you capture this piece, and after black captures this pawn, notice it's check, and black wouldn't do this otherwise because you'd lose your rook, but after black captures this, capture. This position is fairly good. You traded a rook, one of your rooks, that was right here, for two minor pieces, and you're down two pawns, I believe, but you're up in the exchange for a rook for two minor pieces. So it's fairly good. Also, all of your pieces, major or minor, are developed, especially after you castle this rook will be able to get into the action as well. So this is a good position, and although you're down 1 point, you're going to have a great game because, like I said, everything is developed, and black is looking pretty sad, with the king being the only thing that's technically been developed. So very, very good position. Now, if black decides to fall for the trap, black's going to play this move here. And notice that black couldn't move the knight to any spot. If he moves it to this spot, obviously this piece here, this knight here, can capture it. If he moves it to this spot, this queen can capture it. And then if he moves it to this spot, then moving g4 can go ahead and trap the piece. The piece doesn't have any more safe squares, as everything is preventing that. So really nice trap. So black is going to recognize this and move the knight back here, and now you've done it. You've trapped your opponent. You go ahead and like I said, putting pressure on this piece is very good, and in this game specifically, you go ahead and actually capture the f7 piece. And now black is left with two options, both of which lose the queen. We'll start with the better option, I guess, for black. Both are terrible, like I said, but better option is moving the rook, because there's no chance of checkmate. With the other one, there is a chance of checkmate. But if you go ahead and capture back with the rook, then you're met with this movement of the knight, and now the knight is putting pressure on the queen. The knight is also putting pressure on this spot, so the queen cannot go here, and the bishop is putting pressure on this spot, so the queen cannot go here. You're essentially taking advantage of the fact that the queen doesn't have many safe spots. So the best move for black is going to go actually, and like I just showed you, capturing this and losing the queen. At least you get a little knight, I guess. But still, this is going to be completely winning for black, or for white, sorry. If black decides to go ahead and capture with the king, it's no better. You go ahead and put the knight back on this nice spot, and same idea, same trouble for black. Only this time there's even a worse option. So like I said, the best option is the same for both scenarios, capturing and losing the queen. And similarly to last time, the queen doesn't have any safe spots. The bishop and knight take away that ability from the queen to escape. So you might go ahead and say, wait a minute, did you forget about this? I mean, you can just capture this piece here. But no, in fact, you'd hope for this, because if you're up a queen, you still have to finish the game strong and make sure, there's no stalemate opportunities or any chance for your opponent to come back. Here, you go ahead and thank your opponent for letting you win the game by moving this queen here. Opponent forced to go here. Then you go ahead and play this move. An opponent is forced to capture this piece here. But by playing this move, you allow your rook to get into the game. And now your opponent has 4 options, all of which will lead to a direct checkmate. Or not direct, but a very quick checkmate. So if here, then it is indeed a direct checkmate by moving and swinging the rook over, the king having no safe spots. And then if your opponent decides to move to here, to the center, then you go ahead and move your bishop here. And now your opponent is forced to one of these 2 sides. If here, then you go ahead and move your queen down, and that is mate. And if down here, then you go ahead and move your queen down here, and that is mate. Now, if your opponent decided, instead of taking this step of first going to this spot here and then hopping to this spot and going immediately to a spot like this, for example, then you go ahead and swing your queen over here. Your opponent is forced here. You go ahead and move your bishop here. Opponent is forced here. You move your queen here. Opponent is forced to capture the pawn, and obviously mate. If your opponent goes to the other spot, instead, same thing. Mate very quick to come. Your opponent, if your opponent goes here, then you can go ahead and play this move here. And after your opponent moves here, this is a beautiful mate. This is a great trap. You win the queen if your opponent knows what he's doing, or you win the game if your opponent doesn't. Hopefully you enjoyed this trap. Once again, find a better name for it and leave it in the comments below. And also, if you guys did enjoy this trap, then I post traps for the most part 3 times a week. So if you guys need more traps, I have plenty on my channel. So find my playlist on my channel, and you guys can have as many traps as you want. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.